Hey guys, this is Matt and Debbie Bebout. We're excited to have you here on our channel. Be sure to click that little bell and subscribe as well so you can get notifications to our up and coming videos. We do all kinds of things. There again, the camera's over there. I'm still looking over here. We do all kinds of things like marriage and family, and we're going to just kind of do all kinds of neat little videos that hopefully encourage you in your marriage and raising your kids, and we might even do some things on cooking. Who knows? We just want to be a encouragement to you. But today's video is, do Christians have better sex? And the question.
You happen to like you didn't want to say that.
Do Christians have better sex? I think the answer is yes, and I'll give you some reasons why, and then Debbie's going to share from her heart a little bit. One is because as a Christian, the Bible plainly teaches me that I'm supposed to serve. First and foremost, my wife and God, of course, but others as well. And so by serving, the very essence of good sex is that you give someone else something to satisfy them and to pleasure them. And so when you're serving your wife, or vice versa, serving your husband, and which is what Christians do, then you're satisfying their needs, you're satisfying their desires. Another thing is, of course, we're supposed to communicate, and we're going to talk about some of these subjects in deeper detail in later videos, but communication during sex is a good thing. You know, like, hey, you know, touch me here, don't touch me there, oh, you know, that hurts, that feels good, whatever it may be. So we think that definitely the communication that she and I has as Christians, and just as a couple in general, really causes us to have a good sex life. Also, the Bible teaches us that we are to leave our parents and cleave to our spouse and become one flesh. And because we are one, the Bible also teaches that no one ever hated his own body, but nurtured and cared for his body. And so by having that attitude, again, it's about someone else and not about ourselves. Because that's really what good sex is saying, hey, I want what you want, I want what's best for you. You know, we kind of jokingly say, she's like, why are you always, you know, making me feel good? Let me make you feel good. And that's kind of a little joke that we have and stuff. I'm like, well, because I enjoy that. And seriously, I do. And I think she does too. You know, she's been messing with me for the last 11 years.
You never know. No, I'm kidding.
So one of the things that, or several of the things I've just shared with you, is the attitude of doing for someone else, which is core to the Christian teaching that we espouse to, that we believe in from the Bible. By that, having that attitude in sex, you know, it's not about you, it's about pleasing your spouse. Also, the Bible teaches that our body's not our own. One, it's God's, and two, it's our spouse's. And the only time in the Bible it really says that we are to withhold sex from one another is if we are praying and fasting. And so all of those different principles really are kind of scratching the surface, and we want to talk in later videos in more detail about some of those. But we believe that's why Christians have better sex, and Debbie has a few things she wants to share, and then I'll close this video out with you guys.
Yeah, I just wanted to talk about mainly that sex isn't dirty. When I was growing up, I felt like my parents, and I don't want to bash my parents, but I also feel like they didn't talk about sex a lot. Matter of fact, I don't feel like they ever talked about sex. So sex became kind of a bad word in my house. We didn't talk about it. We didn't do it. We were just told, do not, thou shalt not have sex, you know. So it made it feel, in my mind, it made it feel like it was something that was dirty, or something that you ought not do, which you shouldn't before you're married. But I felt like even into marriage, that I felt like, even with you, you know, I wasn't comfortable in the first several years of marriage. You know, it still felt like it was this dirty act, you know, not something that's beautiful and that God created each other for, you know, man and woman for. So I just wanted to kind of, I don't know, warn as parents, and, you know, just talk about that it is not a dirty act, that it is supposed to be a very beautiful thing, like you said, where two people become one, and that it can be enjoyable, not, you know, look at it as, oh, we shouldn't do that, you know. So
yeah, absolutely. And see, our society has made sex a bad thing because they have, one, giving us a false idea of what it is. Like you see a movie where this couple just embraces each other and they just fall into each other's arms, and he always satisfies her and she always satisfies him. Well, that's not true. That doesn't always happen. Sometimes somebody's tired, sometimes somebody's got a headache, someone just says, hey, because I love you, I'm going to have sex. I don't really want to in my own flesh, but because I love you and because I want to serve you, I'm going to have sex with you, and I'm going to please you and satisfy you. And of course, the whole thing we see in Hollywood is just not true about sex. Also, someone, when they're dating, if they're not a believer, tries to make someone feel like, well, if you love me, you would have sex with me. When we know that plainly, Scripture teaches that that's something for marriage that makes it beautiful. And so those aspects have caused sex to be a bad thing. But for the Christian, if we have a biblical understanding of what sex is, yes, it's for procreation, but it's also for enjoyment. I mean, God created the orgasm, for crying out loud. So, I mean, orgasm was God's idea. So I'm just saying, I think God's got something going on there. I think he knows what he's doing. So I'm going to try to have sex God's way. And certainly there's things you shouldn't do, and we can talk about that on later videos and stuff. Pornography, there's no room in a Christian marriage for pornography, because basically that's giving you a fantasy of someone else rather than the bride or the husband that you already have. And so, again, I'm looking over here instead of over here at the camera. So guys, I'm glad you joined us. We got so much more to share with you guys. Click that bell, subscribe, comment down below. Anything that you'd like for us to talk about, share with you guys. We want to share with you some things that we've learned. We're going to talk about communication in the future. We're going to talk about more detail of sex and, in an appropriate way, of course. There's so many different things we want to share with you guys about having a good marriage. Things that we've learned from disciplining our kids the right way, and things we've learned from disciplining our kids the wrong way, and we are still learning. We have seen the marriage break down in our society. We've seen good friends and fellow church members and such, marriages collapse that we were not even expecting. Some things just kind of blow your mind. And so we want to help you guys have a good marriage, a good home, and we want to do that in a way that honors God and points you in the right direction. So in the future, we're going to share more videos. Please, again, reach out to us, comment if we can help in any way. Hopefully at some point, we're going to open up a Facebook group where we offer words of encouragement and kind of interact in there. Right now down below, we also have our Facebook page. We're trying to pump that back up. It's facebook.com/thrivemarriage. So if you just take the word Thrive Marriage, look us up, you'll see our beautiful faces. And so we really want to be encouragement to you guys. So you guys have a great day. Thanks for listening in. Hope to talk to you soon. God bless, and we'll see you again.
Bye.